Hey guys, this is Tim Picciott with the Liberty Advisor. We all know I'm not great at keeping things short. I wasn't going to plan on having any podcast today, but the Fed just released what I'm going to dub as probably the most pants on fire BS statement they've ever made. And for a criminal enterprise, I mean, institution with, 108-year history that's known for making BS statements, this is not something I say lightly. So let's just jump right into it. So the Federal Reserve expects 3 rate increases in 2022. Not going to happen. The Fed expects 3 more in 2023. Definitely not going to happen. 2 more in 2024. And drum roll, please, by 2025, the Fed expects the Fed funds rate to be 2.5%. So we take a look over here. These are the dot plots. Each one of these dots represents where the Federal Reserve, basically people who are voting on this, but the FOMC members, where they think inflation is going to be both this year, next year, the following year, the year after, and then what they call the longer term, which would be 2025 and beyond. But let's not forget, if we take a trip down memory lane, I mean, in 2012, they thought the Fed funds rate by like 2017 was going to be, 4.5%. And then we go back to 2014. I'm doing this off memory right now, but they thought it was going to be, 3.75% by I think like 2017. Then we go to like December 2016, and they thought the Fed funds rate was going to be like, 2.5% by basically now or a year or two ago. And then we go to December 2019, and they basically said that like right now the rates would be 2.5%. So basically 2020. I mean, coming out middle of the year, or middle of the month, December 2019, spectacularly wrong. I mean, these guys have been wrong so much. I mean, you probably have a better chance of being right, asking like Helen Keller for directions somewhere than you do, asking a Federal Reserve governor where the Fed funds rate is going to be at any given time in the future. But wait, don't just hold your horses. I mean, the fun doesn't stop there. The Fed is also claiming that it will end asset purchases this upcoming March. So, not March, 2024 or some, way off in the distance thing. They are claiming that it's going to happen as soon as, basically 3 months from now. And so let me see over here. And actually, let me just get out of this. But yeah, the Fed doubles pace of tapering, warms up to rate hikes in 2022 as inflation pressures rise. And the new pacing would bring all asset purchases to a full stop by March 2022, faster than the course originally set forth in November. That would have ended the purchases, I think, somewhere around like July. So, I mean, if we're going to take a look at, what the Fed is saying, and actually, before we do that, let's also see what some commentary on this. And actually, this was like right before they came out with the announcement. But they're essentially saying that it's going to be the biggest hawkish shift in the history of the dot plot, said Laura Rosenberger Wharton, senior economist at Macro Policy Perspectives. And basically, they're saying that hey, the Fed isn't throwing as much gasoline on this fire anymore. But guess what? They're still throwing fucking gasoline on the fire. It's not like they're just really buckling down and doing what they need to do. No, they're still taking the easy way out. They're still buying a shitload of bonds per month. If we break it down, essentially they were originally buying $120 billion of bonds a month. And then a few months ago they bumped it down to 105, and then now they're going to bump it down to 75 billion. In January, they're going to bump it down to 45 billion. In February, they're only going to throw $15 billion worth of gasoline on this fire. And then in March, they're going to, do another like 15 billion. But then at that point, it's going to end, full stop. And I wasn't clear if the 45 billion was going to be for, the 75 billion, if that was going to be for this month or next month. But anyways, complete pants on fire statement. And let's just face it, the quicker they stop this, the quicker they start it right back up. And the whole thing was this entire scheme is all fucking pointless if the banks then turn around and give even more money back to the Fed, so that way they can get paid to give money back to the Fed as part of their reverse repo operations. It's a whole nother can of worms. But my guess is going to be some other big super duper scary variant. Who knows? It's probably not going to be the Omega variant that ends it all. But or there's going to be some other black swan. Maybe they release Bill Gates smallpox attack that he's been hyping up. And I think it was Greg Reese of InfoWars had an amazing report breaking that down. Or maybe they take Santa Claus Schwab's advice, and maybe they have a little cyber pandemic. He's been prognosticating and predicting that, and they're running Operation Cyber Polygon back in July. But as I say all this stuff, you guys need to protect your retirements, need to protect your investments against inflation. This stuff is going crazy. And if you take a look at like as they're talking about like these hawkish statements, so okay, great. A hawkish statement is that the Fed's going to have like their interest rate's going to be 2.5%, by 2025. So the only way that actually happens is if, let's say, the inflation rate's like 15%, they come out with a 2.5%. So then we're okay, well, great. We've got a real negative yield of negative 12.5%. And so I do buy the fact that maybe the Fed funds rate does increase, but the real, actual interest rate that you're going to get, the real yield is going to be even more negative than it is today. So right now they say inflation's 6.8%. It's actually much higher than that, but even that's a bad number. But let's say 6.8%, and the 10-year treasuries, right around like 1.5, it's like 1.4 or something. So basically you're guaranteed to lose about 5.5% per year, assuming that inflation doesn't get any worse. Now they're saying that inflation is going to get better and it's going to go back to like 3% next year, 2%, complete fucking bullshit. But, I do buy the fact that maybe they'll raise it, but then the real negative rates might end up still being, will probably definitely be, more negative than they are today, because they're in such a hole. There's no way out of that. The whole goal that the Fed has been trying to do has been trying to get inflation. They've been trying to do this for the past 10 years. And now they're like, we're so surprised. And at first they're saying, oh, there isn't inflation. Then it's just going to a little bit of inflation, and a little bit of inflation, but it's temporary. And we've got more inflation than we thought, but it's good for you. And then now it's, Janet Yellen is out there saying it's going to be, back to like 2 or 3% by next year. I mean, she knows absolutely nothing. All the Treasury is talking about is, how they can hire more, social justice warriors and more, pink hair, purple hair. I don't want to, I'm not going to get into any of this. But anyways, if you guys want to know how they rig these numbers, I wrote a book on this in 2015, little mini ebook. Text Liberty Advisor, one word, no spaces, ADVISOR. So that's an OR, not an ER. Liberty Advisor, no spaces, to 71441. Again, Liberty Advisor, no spaces, 71441. And then we'll talk about how you can read that book. And even if you know that they rig these numbers, this is a great thing just to give somebody else. You could probably read the whole thing like 15, 20 minutes. And then if you guys want to help protect your retirements and get actual cryptocurrencies, not a trust of it, not a not some ETF of it, but the actual Bitcoin, actual Ethereum in your accounts, especially retirement accounts. We can, especially Roth IRAs. I mean, we have some people, again, past performance, no indication of future returns. Some people who listen to me like, 3 or 4 years ago are up, close to, or even over 1,000% in the Roth IRAs and have tax-free gains. So, it could have been you. I've been talking about this stuff forever, but, you should have at least part of your retirement in crypto. At least, obviously, you should do your own research, not just take what some random guy on the internet is saying. But if you guys are interested in that, that is, you can go to thelibertyadvisor.com, upper right-hand corner. You can schedule out until, for next year. We do have appointments, don't have appointments. This year, I have more people coming on to help out. So I have lowered the minimum from $500,000 down to $50,000. So if you guys want to help protect your retirement, help protect yourselves against inflation, go to thelibertyadvisor.com. But anyways, thank you guys so much for this. Let me know how you like these short ones, because it's not easy. It's honestly, it's harder for me to keep it short than it is to keep it long, but I'll stop now before I make it long. But anyways, hope you guys have a happy holidays, happy New Year's, Merry Christmas. I should have said Merry Christmas to start. I don't know why I started off with happy holidays, but anyways, Merry Christmas to everyone, and talk to you guys later. Take care.